For bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories for watching this rainy Friday, July 18. Malacanang says First Lady Liza Arneta Marcos is on a working trip to Riyadh. The reason why she is not joining President Bongbong Marcos in his upcoming visit to the U.S. This according to Palace Press Officer Claire Castro. Mrs. Marcos is expected to return to the Philippines on July 21. Meantime, President Marcos will be in Washington from July 20 to 22 to meet with his American counterpart Donald Trump. Marcos is the first ASEAN head of state to be invited by the White House since Trump took power. On their agenda, the strengthening of Washington and Manila's alliance and economic cooperation.
The search and retrieval operations for the missing Sabongeros continues today despite bad weather. The search was delayed for 6 hours due to rains triggered by Tropical Storm Krising and, of course, the southwest monsoon. Meantime, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla met today as well with whistleblower Julie Dondon Patidongan and his legal counsel. The DOJ chief refused to disclose details of their conversation but described Patidongan's information as reliable. Yeda Romualdez, the wife of House Speaker Martin, will return to the House of Representatives as a representative of Tingog party list. She moved up from 6th to 3rd nominee after 3 other nominees of the party list resigned or were disqualified due to conflict of interest. As I said, Romualdez is joining her husband, House Speaker Martin Romualdez, and son, Representative Andrew Julian Romualdez, in the 20th Congress. And Metro Manila workers will be getting a pay boost starting today, July 18, as a 50 peso daily minimum wage hike takes effect. The new rates raise daily minimum wages to 695 pesos for non-agriculture workers and 658 pesos for agriculture, retail, and small manufacturing sectors. The 19th Congress earlier failed to pass a 200 peso legislated wage hike.
Tropical Storm Krising is expected to intensify until it reaches severe tropical storm status. Pag-asa last spotted Krising 135 kilometers east-northeast of Tuguegarao City in Cagayan. It is packing maximum sustained winds of 75 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 90 kph. Pag-asa says a landfall scenario over mainland Cagayan or the Babuyan Islands this afternoon is possible. Krising is expected to exit the Philippine Area of Responsibility on Saturday afternoon. Signal number 1 and 2 are up in at least 10 provinces. The full list is, of course, on your screens. And joining us today, or not joining us today to begin with, is Raul Llamas, who is flying off to Never Never Land again.
Where that is, I don't know.
No, actually, nobody knows.
Not to be disclosed.
Okay, but joining us today from Parañaque City, from the Philippine Star, ang bossing ng mga periodista ng Star, si Editor-in-Chief Ami Pamintuan.
Hello, everybody. Stormy Friday, stormy weekend.
Stormy Friday. Is that why you're in gray today?
Hindi na ako ngayon, madilim.
Parang it goes against her logic. Because Ami, dati sabi mo, when the day is gloomy,
Masaya,
you have to wear something bright.
Oo nga, wala akong nakita eh.
Ayun, yun lang. Oh.
Hindi natuyo yung damit ko.
Yun. Good reason.
Yun yung talagang reason. Okay, Krising.
Asa Cebu si Ronald.
Okay.
Anong ginagawa naman doon? Biglaan yun as in yesterday, wala
speech daw, may speech.
Bro, bigla siya nag-speech, ganun?
Baka pinatawag ng
ano?
the new the cardinal, the archbishop.
Sa Bohol.
Sa Bohol ba yun?
Bohol yun.
Bohol.
Oh, Ami,
Babalik agad dyan.
Ami, anong top story niya? Maliban nung sa Bagyo, ah.
Para sa mga binanggit mo, yung CICC nagwa-warning na sa content creators, ha? Papaila na daw nila ng criminal cases yung mga nagtuloy-tuloy pa rin mag-endorse ng online gambling. No? Saka yung isa pa, interesting, yung finals na si Kiko Pangilinan joined Robin Hood Padilla, hindi joined, separate. Nag-file ng bill against political dynasties. Tingnan natin kung anong kahinatnan nun.
Every congressman may nagko-file eh.
Exactly, I was gonna say, every congressman
Hindi,
meron.
dati si Robin lang, di ba? Ngayon, at least si Kiko, meron na rin siya. Magkaiba ng konti, hindi ko pa nababasa yung version niya.
Pero yung sa influencers and online gambling, I think that only refers to yung illegal online games.
Online.
Hindi, kahit legal.
Pati legal ba?
I'm
They're
not sure.
Kahit legal. I think the idea is they're gonna
Yeah.
crack down on endorsements of online gambling because, of course, at this point, government is looking to tighten regulations on online gambling.
But that's what with the Ad Standards Council, and
Yes.
that's more self-regulation eh. Pero with regard to the CICC, that's a cybercrime so what's the full name of that thing? It's a cybercrime task force eh. That's for the filing of
cybercrime siya.
charges eh. And that I think would have to do with yung endorsement of illegal online gambling sites that some influencers.
Hindi ko alam kung illegal, ha? Kasi kung legal, medyo delikado yun, no? Kasi content creators yun eh. Hindi natin alam ano bang law dyan. Unless binana nga yung advertising for online gaming. Online
Hindi pa.
gambling.
But you need-
Hindi pa at this point.
You need the law for that if it's not self-regulatory.
Oo. Exactly.
That's why they were the guy we were talking to before. See, Altango, I think, was talking about they're talking with the Ad Standards Council from MOA so that there's self-regulation dun sa
Which they already which they've already started implementing. So for instance, yung billboards sa EDSA and the major thoroughfares, di ba, they were given until August 15 to take down the online ads, online gambling ads. Kasi these are all legal online gambling operators where they were still asked. And we know that there's a lot, di ba? Dumaan ka sa EDSA, SLEX,
Malaking pera
NLEX.
yun,
Of course, of course.
Kasi at the same time that they're profiting from your influence, you're also gambling your you're putting at stake your reputation. For example, if your reputation is parang goody-goody, you can just...
No, but actually a lot of big name actors and actresses have appeared in these ads.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
off the top of my head, sila Piolo Pascual.
But those are people with mature roles eh. But if you're you want to have that goody-goody impression, you're very careful not to associate yourself with online gambling. Some of the people who we've seen, for example, Vic Soto.
Yung mga
There's a lot,
nakita
there's
ko,
a lot.
si Alden Richards, si Barbie.
Yes. Actually,
Mga sikat siya na.
Actually, there was a time, pati si Manny Pacquiao, former Senator Manny Pacquiao, right, who's in Las Vegas at the moment for another big fight. Pero there's big money in these gambling ads, right? So that's just for the billboards. Imagine mo how much more there is in the wild west of digital, of online, right? When you can pay per click.
Pero kung illegal yan, Ed, content creator, you will not endorse an illegal game, di ba?
Well,
Siyempre yung legal yung inaano nila.
But I remember the CICC issuing that threat before, a week ago, just about a week ago, against content creators who are endorsing illegal online
Baka
sites.
unlicensed, gano'n,
Well, yeah, unlicensed are illegal sites eh. In fact, there were some interviews already done where the CICC aired the threat eh. Now we'll go after you, and for the public, these are the ways for you to identify what online sites are illegal and what online sites are not.
Alin daw yun?
Well, hindi ko napanood eh.
Kasi lahat ng nakukuha ko sa cellphone ko, nakalagay PAGCOR license. I'm not sure kung alam ng PAGCOR na nilisensyahan niya.
Pero
lahat sila na nakalagay doon, PAGCOR license.
That's the other thing that they were saying Ang daling ilagay yung graphic na PAGCOR license. Kasi ikaw lang na nakakita It's on your phone
Kaya nga.
So, not unless you check, then you won't know if it's licensed or not. They can make that claim.
How would you know? Diba?
Not unless the PAGCOR releases a list of those that are licensed. And would you even bother to
kapag
check?
ganyan na PAGCOR license, pwede ka mag-bet directly na. Click ka na lang doon.
Oo. So yung mga online gambling operators, there's 14 of them came together to issue a statement to say, okay, we welcome tighter government regulations, pero yun nga, warning that an outright ban will drive people underground. So yun yung sinasabi ulit nila. And these are, the big companies. The ones that like DigiPlus, the ones that run the biggest online gambling operators. So nag-issue na sila ng statement. I think the fear there is that baka during President Marcos's SONA in what day is it? In about a week's time.
Yeah.
Baka he might announce a total gambling ban. So yun yung we'll see.
Pero yan din yung argument nila nun sa Pogos, di ba? Nung pinapaban, sabi nila they will go underground. Saka yung counter-argument naman ng mga opponents ng gambling, sabi nila, bakit shabu? Pag binan mo, matatakot. Yung mga ganon, kapag gusto mo ibawal, ang argument mo, they will just go underground.
But it's true. I mean, we haven't completely eradicated shabu. Right?
Yeah.
They still, marami pang shabu hole that they keep, di ba? Every time there's a big hole that they catch,
kaya
yung presidente.
Kaya ang sabi nila, anong gagawin natin dyan? Gagawin din natin legal. Regulated. Yan ang argument naman ng mga yung mga proponent ng total ban on gambling.
Okay, Bok, kami naman tayo. I think we have a reporter already online. Let's wait for him to face us. Okay, here we go.
Wala pa ako nakikita.
Ito na, nakikita ko na we have News 5 correspondent Gio Roble with updates on the situation in Ilocos Norte as the tropical storm Chrising heads up north. Gio, kamusta ang panahon dyan?
Hi, Gio.
Bok, sa ngayon ay narating na natin ang bayan ng Pagudpud dito sa Ilocos Norte. Hello, Ami and Regina. Nice to see you as well. Pero just a quick update, pabugso-bugso ang ulan na naranasan natin simula kagabi or nung dumating tayo madaling araw sa may bahagi ng Lawag City sa Ilocos Norte. Makulimlim ang panahon at kagaya nga dito sa may Pagudpud, 2 hours away from Lawag City. Sayang kasi kung summer, napakaganda ng lugar dito. Masarap lumangoy, pero ngayon malakas yung alon at mahangin din. Sabi ng Pag-asa, 5 p.m. onwards o mamaya habang papalapit o habang paggabi na po, ay doon na talaga mararamdaman yung posibleng hagupit or effects nitong bagyong Chrising. 3 scenarios yung binabantayan ng mga local disaster officials mula dyan sa mga lokal na pamalaanan din sa probinsya. Unang-una, of course, we have pagbaha, pagguho ng lupa o landslide at posibleng storm surge o daluyong nasa 2 meters yung posibilidad, yung pagtaas ng tubig na posibleng ihambalos mula yan sa dagat. So sa ngayon, patuloy yung pagbabantay. Inabasuhan na yung mga residente mula sa low-lying areas, especially sa mga local communities, na just in case kailangan lumikas, wag na matigas yung ulo, pumunta na sa mas ligtas na lugar or higher areas. Yung mga bangka kanina na inikutan natin sa Lawag ay inilipat na nga doon sa mga safer areas na hindi nga, just in case na tumaas yung tubig ay mailigtas. Bawal na yung pagpapalaot at bawal na rin yung pagligo sa dagat. Pero may mangilan-ngilan pa rin mga turista na naabutan natin sa Lawag na hindi alintana yung masamang panahon, makapag-ikot lang. Bok, Ami, Regina.
Gio, Pagudpud, bahagi yan ng di ba, ng mga windmills na area. What do they do with the windmills pag ganyang bagyo? Do they feather the propellers or do they just keep on spinning?
Well, I'm not an expert on that, Bok, pero sa ngayon kung makikita mo, ito, pakita natin, Sir Eugene, yung windmills. Feeling ko yung windmills lang yung natutuwa sa malakas na hangin yun, buhay na buhay. Pero if I'm not mistaken, Bok, no, sa tuwing may masamang panahon, mas nakaka-generate ng more electricity ang, kumbaga, yung windmills, if I'm not mistaken, Pero sa ngayon, kung makikita natin, ayan, buhay na buhay ang windmills. And of course, may mga nakikita akong naliligo pa rin sa dagat dito sa Pagudpud. And hopefully, sitahin na nga sila. It's because, number one, yung strong waves, napakadelikado yan. And we don't know baka kung saan sila umabot. And knowing kaharap nitong Pagudpud sa West Philippine Sea. So far ngayon, nasa red rainfall warning.
No, Gio, I was just going to say, actually, alam ko nga, these
Yes, ma'am.
windmills are made to withstand extreme weather. Pero ang tatanungin ko sana is, kamusta naman yung mga evacuation centers? So, have you been able to check in on them?
Sa ngayon, merong 100 o higit sa 100 evacuation centers dito sa Ilocos Norte. Ayon sa PDRRMO sa Ilocos Norte, ay nagkaroon na sila ng pre-disaster meeting bago pa man o habang papalapit pa lang itong bagyong Krising. Pero so far ay wala pang naitatalang mga evacuees. Pero nakahanda na raw ang mga evacuation center niyan just in case man na may mga ilipat, especially doon sa may Lawag City or mga lugar malapit doon sa ilog, ay just in case na umakyat nga yung tubig, ay kailangan na silang ilikas. Pero so far, so good, normal pa yung level ng tubig sa Padsan River.
Okay.
Regina.
Okay. So Gio, wala pang ulan dyan. Pabugso-bugso lang ang hangin.
Yes, pabugso-bugso ang hangin nung galing tayo ng Lawag kanina at papunta dito sa Pagudpud. Yun, uulan ng malakas, zero visibility, and then mawawala na naman. Pero ngayon, kung nararamdaman ko based from my observation ay nagtutuloy-tuloy na nga siya so far habang papalapit ay yung gabi. Kaya baka ito na nga siguro yung sinasabi ng Pag-asa na by 5 p.m. onwards ay mararamdaman na itong epekto o dalang ulan at hangin ng bagyong Krising. Bok. Regina, Ami.
Okay.
Okay. Gio, we'll keep in touch with you, especially mga around 5 o'clock with the other programs to see how things are going. So, ingat kayo dyan and keep us updated. Maraming salamat sa iyo. Gio Robles, nasa pinaka-norte ng Ilocos Norte. Pagudpud, facing Bangi Bay.
That's a good point about the windmills. Nandun nga yung mga renowned Bangi Bay windmills. Pero yun nga, these windmills, they're made to rotate at a particular speed, right? So pag na-exceed yon because of the strong winds, ang alam ko nagsha-shutdown siya at one point. Like, it's made to automatically shut down. It's engineered like that.
So baka they disengage the clutch.
So pero ngayon mukhang okay pa yung ano.
Ano pa naman magla-landfall.
Hindi naman magla-landfall at this point. So we just have to watch the wind speeds.
Wala yung audio ko eh.
Hindi ka namin. Ami, you're really loud
Hindi,
and
tatanong
clear.
ko sana kung yung mga na-disrupt na mga flight. Marami international flight doon, di ba?
Sa Ilocos.
Lawag.
So, actually, we should also, we'll try to pull in later our correspondent who should be by now in Cagayan kasi yan ang unang tatamaan ni Krising. Of course, the storm is coming in from the eastern part of Luzon. Gigilid ng kaunti yan dun sa may northeastern coastline ng Cagayan bago tumama doon sa bandang Babuyan Islands and Batanes. So, yung impact will be felt most doon sa Batanes and sa Cagayan and Isabela and possibly Ilocos as well, depending on the direction ng
May rainfall alert ba kayo dito sa Manila? Kasi baka mamaya sabihin na naman ng Pag-asa, Nagbigay kami ng rainfall alert, di nyo pinansin.
10 provinces for now. Signal number 1 and 2 are up in at least 10 provinces. Pakita ulit natin yung
Yeah.
list of 10 provinces. Again, landfall scenario over the mainland is not is a possibility, pero mukhang
Yes.
hindi itatama yung eye of the storm at this point. There we go.
Kasi may
it's the
nabasa
full
ako,
list.
hindi ba? Sabi nila, kapag mas delikado pa nga daw yung medyo malayo pa yung storm, tapos merong monsoon, mas malakas daw ang hila nung storm doon sa precipitation, kaya mas malakas ang rainfall.
Well, it depends po kasi. It depends on a lot of factors, including kung gaano karami yung rain clouds in the periphery.
Kaya kahit medyo malayo
Ayan.
siya sa atin,
This
kuminsan daw, mas malakas yung rainfall na dinadala
Yeah,
Right.
nung
that's
hindi
possible.
tumatama sa atin.
That's possible, but it's
So
not
this is
always
the
automatic.
eye.
This is the eye.
Yeah.
This is at around 8 in the morning Friday. Let's play it a bit so we can see how it progresses. Okay, that 1 p.m. umuna
Yan
konti.
explanation nila, kaya nabibigla daw
Said it that
tayo
way.
ngayon sa rainfall.
So, ang unang tatamaan talaga ng mata would be
North.
Batanes.
Yeah.
Basco's up there, Itbayat is over there, and so on down the line. So yung color coding dito, that's the wind eh. Pero let me show you something that is of course more interest to most people, which is yung ulan.
Yeah, yung rainfall nga
Oo, yung ulan. Okay. Teka, sumobra na pala. Balik tayo sa
Kasi pwede siya mag-trigger ng mudslide, of course,
Oo.
flooding.
Yep.
Mas delikado siya
Landslides and storm surges and things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ang nakikita nyo dito, color coding. Okay, this is now rain and thunder. The color coding is like this. The redder it is, the more intense
Yes. Mas malala,
the amount
oo.
of rainfall that's expected to be dropped. This is at around 9 in the morning kanina. Ito yung bahagi na medyo maraming ulan na babagsak. Tingnan nyo kung paano gagalaw yung pula. Siyempre, main ito talaga is yung
Yes.
pula. Ayan o. This is at 4 p.m. Yan,
Okay.
umulan na dyan sa bandang
There are
Apari.
some meron din here.
O yan.
Oo, yung mga red parts.
Mindoro,
Malayo-layo sa
Rojas,
atin, no?
Candon, Lawag. But that's already by Saturday. This is moving forward eh. So, ayan.
So by
this time,
Saturday afternoon, ito yung
9
mga
a.m.
Saturday afternoon nakalabas na siya.
Yeah. You can see this, you guys. Kung meron kayong, you can download the Windy app on your cell phones, or you can look
Windy.com.
at windy.com on your desktops and laptops, and you can see things in several ways. You can look at the amount of rain and thunder, which you just saw. You can see the wind speed, which is also, of course, very important for those who are concerned with wind speeds.
Pero medyo mahina siya Signal
Medyo mahina
number
naman siya.
lang yung wind
Yeah.
So, yeah, these are things you can see that's all available on your satellite. Yung
Okay. We have to let's okay, so we'll leave that there for now. Moving on to other stories. Let's get out to our reporter in Malacanang, mobile journalist Julie Baiza. Julie, ano meron? We're waiting to hear updates on President Marcos's trip to the US, no?
Hi, Julie.
Ay, Miss Ami, yes, Miss Reg, Bok, at Miss Ami and Sir Ronald, kasado na nga yung biyahe ni PBBM pa Estados Unidos para sa pakikipagpulong kay US President Donald Trump. So from 20 to 22, yung magiging trip ng Pangulo. Cooperation on economic, defense and security matters yung pag-uusapan nila sa bilateral meeting. Nariyan din yung, of course, ipinataw ng US tariff sa Philippine exports. Mapapag-usapan din daw yung usapin ng West Philippine Sea. Bukod kaya President Trump, makakaharap din ni PBBM, sina State Secretary Marco Rubio at Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. Walang magiging meeting si PBBM with the Filipino community kasi ang sabi ng DFA medyo tight nga daw yung schedule. Doon naman sa usapin kung bakit hindi makakasama si First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos na ilang araw na nga nating itinatanong, nasa working visit daw si FL sa ngayon hanggang sa July 20. So nasa Riyadh, Saudi Arabia siya. Binigyan din na tayo ng kopya nung kanyang itinerary. So 17 kahapon umalis si First Lady. Dumating siya ng Dubai and Riyadh ngayong araw. Bibisita sa OFW Servicio Fair at one-stop shop government services. Tomorrow again, may pagbisita siya sa mga bahay kalinga at may lunch with OFW leaders. Sa Sunday naman yung pag-alis niya sa Riyadh. So that's July 20 and Monday, July 21 siya darating dito. So salubong sila ng schedule ni PBBM kasi si PBBM naman July 20 aalis ng bansa. So bukod dito sa US trip, kanina naghanda rin ng Pangulo para naman dito kay Bagyong Krising. Maaga niyang binisita yung pagre-repack ng mga relief goods sa DSWD National Resource Operations Center sa Pasay City. So dyan po may mga bagong makinarya na sila na ginagamit para sa mas mabilis na pagre-repack ng mga kahon-kahong relief goods, kabilang yung mga health at sanitary kits. Ang sabi ng Pangulo, 3 million daw yung relief goods na naka-ready na ngayon at pwede nang maipadala sakaling kakailanganin. Bukod dyan, meron din silang mga portable water filter na kanina tinry din yan ni PBBM at saka ni DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian kung safe ba na portable water filter. Ang sabi nila BBM kanina, safe naman, tinry nila, ininom nila yung tubig ulan galing sa alulod. So after that, dito naman sa palasyo, sinabi rin ng Office of Civil Defense na naka-alerto sila. Simula pa daw kahapon, naka-red alert yung NDRRMC Operations Center. And so far, nasa 7,500 families daw yung apektado na ng mga pag-ulan. Pero abangan pa daw, antabayanan pa daw natin yung update nila ngayong hapon kung may mga nadadagdag dyan.
Julie, wala bang sneak preview kung ano yung kung meron na ng pagkasundo? I know they're going to have an official meeting with Trump and BBM, pero madalas sa hindi kasi kung anong pagkakasunduan ay napagkasunduan na bago pa yung meeting, and the meeting becomes generally
formality.
Photo op. Oo, photo opportunity lang. Any idea or any timbre kung anong kung meron mang napagkasunduan na?
Ang tinanong namin kanina yung sa tariff book, ang sabi ng DFA, ongoing pa rin daw kasi yung negotiation kasi meron ngang naunang economic team doon. So hindi pa nila masasabi kung ano yung mapipirmahan, kung magkakaroon ba ng agreement or yung free trade agreement na isinusulong nila or may in other form ng kasunduan kasi yun, ongoing pa rin and hoping na maselyuhan nga daw yan pagdating ni PBBM doon.
Okay.
Julia, apart from the economic team, sino pang kasama? Well, nauna na economic team, pero sinong kasama mismo ni President Marcos when he goes to the US?
Hindi pa po inabiso kung sino yung delegasyon niya. Magkakaroon din daw kasi ng pre-departure statement. So, doon lang din daw po i-announce kung sino din yung maiiwan as caretaker ng bansa.
Okay. We'll leave that there for now.
May parang multuro, no? May parang multong nandun sa ano.
Baka it's the usual DAR chief, si
Estrella. Si Conrado Estrella III.
May ano ba? May special event ba sa Riyadh? Special occasion? Kasi marami namang ganyan sa mga natin, mga OFW communities natin all over the world. Baka may special occasion sa Riyadh.
So far, wala naman pong sinabing special occasion kung bakit doon working visit ni First Lady.
Okay.
I was saying, Bok, may parang multo doon sa gilid.
Okay, we'll let Julie go first. Thank you for the updates.
Mobile doon,
Mobile journalist.
Hindi nakikita ni Julie yung kayo naman.
Mobile journalist Julie Baiza reporting live from Manila. Thank you, Julie.
Yung
Thank you,
parang
Julie.
multo si Tito Ronald sumama sa atin
Hindi
sa
niya
Zoom.
nakikita.
Ronald, medyo punas mo ng konti yung cellphone mo kasi
Ronald,
parang
baka umuulan na dun sa Cebu, no?
Okay, saka mo napasok because...
Okay.
Hindi
Sige.
pa yata siya nakakaana, pero yung video pa lang niya.
Yeah, medyo choppy yata
Ako lurker dito
Yan na, Bakit ang labo? Parang umuulan.
Sige, Ronald.
yes!
Punasan
Nasa
mo muna
EDSA ka ba?
Hindi, na airport. Kita mo yung boarding
wait.
tube
Hindi ko makita.
Airport pa lang,
it's at the
airport.
Boarding
Okay,
tube
okay.
Sige, punasan mo muna yung lente mo. Parang ang lagkit-lagkit ng
Oo nga,
telepono mo
madumi.
Mag-up muna siguro tayo in the
Makamulto.
meantime.
Hirap, pag cellphone lang dala.
But
Hindi, nasa airport. Nasa airport pa lang.
Oo nga.
oh,
Okay.
that's a good question, Riyadh. Bakit nga ba nasa Riyadh? But
So,
Yan
hintayin
na nga di ba?
And-
Kasi yung mga
and-
binanggit niyang events, lagi naman nangyayari yan sa mga OFW natin.
right,
So
there's
what's so
always a
special
gathering.
about Riyadh?
There's always a gathering. And in any case, that's parang halfway ka na eh, 'di ba? If you wanted to go to the US, parang that's already the Middle East is always a stop on the way to the US. So anyways, we have to take a quick break. You're watching Storycon on One News. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We've got developing news in the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao.
And I'm Regina Lay, still with us, Ami Paminton of the Philippine Star, and mukhang we lost Ronald.
Oo, si Tito Ronald.
Nag-ano na siya, nag-board na siya.
Nag-board
okay.
Boarding na daw siya.
Buti pa si
Oo,
Ami
boarding
updated,
na.
no?
Sana pinunasan niyo muna
Yeah.
yung telepono niya. Anyway, joining us this afternoon,
Sabi ko,
Coast Guard.
pinapaano ko pinapabaliktad ko boarding na daw siya.
Okay.
Okay.
Ami, joining us this afternoon, Philippine Coast Guard spokesman for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela. Sir, magandang hapon. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Commodore.
Yes, magandang hapon po sa inyo at magandang hapon din po sa inyo mga taga-subaybay.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure you've heard about this. China's claiming to its state media that the BRP Teresa Magbanwa made several dangerous maneuvers daw doon sa bandang Bajo de Masinloc. In particular, and ang sabi daw is that the Magbanwa made high-speed crossings astern, with the closest distance being only about 100 meters. For those, sir, who are not familiar with boats, di ba yung stern nasa likod?
Yes,
So,
sa likuran.
so hindi siya nag-cut sa harap. Kung sakali man totoo
Hindi
to.
naman, sa likuran.
sa likod siya dumaan. So, anong delikado dun?
Yes.
So, and by the way, this incident happened July 15. So, Wednesday. Oh, no. Tuesday, sorry.
15, Tuesday.
Yes, last Tuesday.
Yes, sir. So anyway, sige po.
Yes. Yes, sir, Ed. No? Ang issue lang naman natin dito is that, una sa lahat, no? The Philippine Coast Guard always adhere with the collision regulation or the rules of the road sa karagatan. No? We don't do such dangerous maneuver na sinasabi ng China. Buti nga, they were very honest enough to say na ang distance is 100 meters. Napakalayo nito. Samantalang sila,
Yes.
whenever they do dangerous maneuver, it's only a matter of like 50 yards. Minsan, close enough pa, tumatama pa talaga sa mga barko natin. No? Secondly, ang ginagawa ng Philippine Coast Guard, ang pagpapatrolya natin dito, is in accordance with the international law, no? The 2016 Arbitral Award, and of course the UNCLOS, no? That allows us to have our own exclusive economic zone. So, ang presensya natin dito ay naaayon sa batas, whereas ang People's Republic of China, they're stuck with their own claim, no? Na meron silang historic 9-line claim na it was already invalidated by the 2016 Arbitral Award. So there's one state that has to be responsible sa mga ganitong mga bagay-bagay. That will only be the People's Republic of China. In the first place, ano kasi ang ginagawa nila sa karagatan na ito na hindi naman talaga sa kanila?
Commodore, yung BRP Teresa Magbanwa was doing a routine maritime patrol, right? And our version of events is that the two CCG vessels were the ones that blocked the Magbanwa's path. When it happened, nag-issue po ba sila ng radio challenge?
But ang radio challenge palagi ng Chinese Coast Guard is that they're claiming na meron silang sovereignty and jurisdiction over these waters. In response, ang sinasabi naman natin sa kanila is that the Philippine Coast Guard presence there in conducting maritime law enforcement is accordance with the UNCLOS, the 2016 Arbitral Award, and the Philippine Maritime Zones Act.
No.
Tayo ay may legal na batayan, sila ay wala.
Sir, sorry, I mean, did the Magbanwa issue a challenge and what was the response?
Yes, we are periodically challenging the presence of the Chinese Coast Guard every time na makikita natin sila in different parts of the West Philippine Sea. And that is the response. No? Sa China, sinasabi nilang they have jurisdiction and sovereignty over these waters na meron naman tayong legal na basihan.
Ang tinatanong yata, Commodore, nag-issue ba ng challenge yung mga Chinese sa atin? Tama ba yun?
No, he answered it already, which is their usual line about they are doing
okay.
lawful operations It's the same story, you know. Every time these things happen, the boats challenge each other, and the response is always the same, which is leading me to wonder, may point pa ba, is there any other recourse other than radio challenge, when these things occur?
I'm sorry, Gina, I lost you. Hindi ko masyadong narinig yung tanong.
No, I was just wondering, yung radio challenges, every time may encounters yung Philippine Coast Guard vessels and Chinese Coast Guard vessels out in the West Philippine Sea, they always issue radio challenges to each other, right? So I'm wondering,
Yes.
give us the big picture here. What is the point of the radio challenge? Kahit na alam na natin what they're going to respond to, is it that the number of challenges is going to be a proof point in a case one day if the Philippines ever decides to file another case? Ano po yung point nito?
Well, para sa amin sa Philippine Coast Guard, there is relevance to it. Kasi it's the Chinese Coast Guard who is highlighting na sila ang may legal na dahilan sa presensya nila dito. And we are documenting their radio challenges. And in response, we also need to document that we responded to such statement of the People's Republic of China, because it will also form part of the report that we're going to submit to the National Task Force. It is important for us to counter such radio challenge para hindi naman isipin ng People's Republic of China na meron talagang legitimacy at maayos na basihan yung mga pinagsasabi nila over the radio.
Sir,
So, Commodore, ano ng situation ngayon sa Panatag? Kasi this happened on Wednesday. Sa ngayon, ano yung situation ngayon?
The BRP Teresa Mantanua, just recently, kahapon, ay meron tayong na-rescue na isang Filipino fishing boat. Dahil ngayon, ang binabantayan natin, the reason why BRP Teresa Magmanwa and another 44-meter vessel is within the immediate vicinity of Bajo de Masinloc is to anticipate yung pagbagsak nung rocket testing na ginagawa ng rocket launch test na ginawa ng China. So, dun sa area kung saan binabantayan namin, sinisure namin na walang mga islang Pilipino na mababagsakan dito. We were able to respond to a distress call from one fishing boat coming from Zambales, at the distance of 59 nautical miles off the coast of Bajo de Masinloc. And Teresa Magbanwa responded to this distress call at ihatid na naman natin ito ngayong umaga, itong fishing boat na to sa Maribeles, Bataan.
Wala namang humarang na Chinese vessel sa ginawa nyo ngayon?
So far naman ngayon, ma'am, wala. Napakapangit ng dagat ngayon sa West Philippine Sea. This is actually one of the main reasons siguro kung bakit we were very, it was not that difficult for us to carry out itong towing operation with distress fishing boat. At walang Chinese Coast Guard na nangharas sa atin habang tinutulungan natin ang ating mga kababayang Pilipino.
Sir, I kind of find it curious that the Chinese would complain about, well, at least allegedly, that Magbanwa crossing their stern when over and over again we've seen instances of Chinese Coast Guard and militia vessels crossing our bow. Kumbaga sa pag nagmamaneho ng sasakyan, kinakat yung harap mo, yun ang pagtawid dun sa bow yung gigit-git kakat yung harapan mo. Pero in this particular case, the Chinese are complaining that we crossed their stern o yung likod nila.
Stern, yes.
So that's kind of curious kasi parang what are they complaining about?
Alam mo, Sir Ed, hindi ko na rin alam. Na-confused na rin yata. Na-confused na rin yata ito. I-check kung anong sino ang may mali dito. But again, I would like to highlight that the Chinese Coast Guard statement is a clear indication of their hypocrisy. They always want to pretend that they care for international law, the collision regulation. But the mere fact na they are there illegitimately, wala silang basihan para magpatrolya dyan. And ngayon, gumagawa pa sila ng mga ganitong issue just to discredit the presence of the Philippine Coast Guard vessel.
Commodore, before we run out of time, I wanted to ask you about another issue, if okay lang kay, if you're done, Ed. Yung cyber libel case that you filed against Sasot, the blogger, to the tune of 1.25 million yata, if I remember correctly. We know that she has responded to it, not formally, but she said she hasn't received it kasi she's not in the country, right? And she'll respond to it once she receives the formal summons. But nasa na po yung kaso?
But honestly, I don't have the recent update now about the case. No, it's up to the Manila Prosecutor's Office already how Sasot can receive the complaint, and it's up to the prosecutor's office kung how they will decide, no? Kung may valid point si Sasot, kung sabihin niyang he has to receive the complaint before he can even be able to respond to the cyber libel case that I filed.
I apologize, I didn't get to read your complaint actually. Pero what were some of the specific examples you cited in charging her for cyber libel?
I have three main grounds, no, kung bakit kami nag-file ng cyber libel. The first one is yung sinabi niya na pumunta daw ako sa bahay ni Speaker Romualdez at kumuha daw ako ng black bag na naglalaman daw ng napakaraming pera. Well, first of all, I don't even know where Speaker Romualdez lives, no? I don't know the address kung saan siya nakatira. Secondly, meron din siya sinasabi na nag-receive daw ako ng $4 million as talent fee from the U.S. Embassy. Alam mo, hanggang ngayon, tinatanong ako ng misis ko kung meron daw talaga akong ganung pera eh. Kung saan ko daw nilagay, no? And then the third funny thing na sinabi niya, meron daw Operation Atlantis ang mga Amerikano at ako daw yung nagde-direct ng operation na to. Hindi ko alam kung nasobrahan na siya ng kapapanood ng Justice League na inisip niyang ako si Aquaman para i-implement tong Operation Atlantis na sinasabi niya.
In short,
Commodore, nabanggit niya yung US Embassy. Tanong ko lang yung sa announcement nila na they are building a ship boat repair facility dun sa Palawan. Ano yung may timetable na ba doon kung kailan kaya yon mag-uumpisa o kailan ba yung magiging operational?
I'm sorry, ma'am. No, I'm not really privy about this boat repair facility. I think it's with the Philippine Navy. With regards sa engagement nila sa Coast Guard, ang alam kong proyekto nila para sa amin is yung Buliluyan Port Facility sa may Balabac, Palawan. No? Alam naman natin, especially for the media who had the experience to be embedded kasama ng mga mission namin, dito yung jump-off point ng ating barko, dulo ng Palawan sa baba, so that it will be easier for us to deploy our Coast Guard vessels papunta ng Kalayaan Island Group. Kung kesa manggagaling sa Puerto Princesa, iikot pa kasi. That is the project that I'm aware of. But for the boat repair facility, I think it's with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, ma'am.
just to circle very quickly back to what you were saying about the cyber libel case, so can you confirm definitively, Commodore, walang Operation Atlantis?
Yes, as far as I'm aware, no? Wala akong ganitong alam na Operation Atlantis. Ang ginagawa lamang natin sa Coast Guard is we have the Transparency Initiative to make the public aware of what's happening and also to inform the international community of the aggressive behavior of the People's Republic of China.
So, Commodore, balikan ko lang yung kasi nawala ako. So, hindi kasama yung mga Coast Guard vessels doon sa repair, doon sa facility na ginagawa ng US? O pwede rin kayong karon?
Well, I'm not yet sure, ma'am. No, I think that was a very recent pronouncement nitong mga nakaraang-araw
Yes.
lang. I'm not really sure whether Coast Guard vessels will also be accommodated dito sa project na to kung sakaling magkakaroon nga talaga ng boat repair facility. But that would be a great development, no? Kung ang ating mga barko ay ma-accommodate din ng boat repair facility na to. Especially so na every time na binabangga tayo ng Chinese Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea, it will be easier for us to have it repaired and send them back to sea immediately kapag naayos siya agad.
And
Kumusta na yung barko nyo nabutas yung ano? Navy ba yun o Coast Guard? Yung alin ba yun, Ed, yung nabutas yung gilid?
Oo, yung
Was that
binaga.
Navy or Coast Guard?
BRP Teresa Magbanwa yun, ma'am. BRP Teresa
Magbanwa mismo.
Ito yung,
Okay na siya.
yes, ito yung binangga nila sa Sabina Shoal or Skoda Shoal when
Yes.
we were anchored there. No?
Yeah.
As what the commandant has informed the public, it was our priority to send back Teresa Magbanwa. So parang in just a matter of 3 weeks, naayos naman siya agad. At ngayon nga, ma'am, ito yung nagpapatrol yung baho di Masinloc.
Okay.
And then lastly, Commodore, just very quickly, Sandy Cay has been quiet. Wala nang no other flags that have been planted there, o wala nang pumupunta doon as far as you know?
Saan, gaya ng sinabi ko, ma'am, no? Ang pangit ng panahon ngayon sa West Philippine Sea. Ang tingin ko naman, hindi weatherproof din ang barko nila. And ang concern pa rin natin ngayon sa Pag-asa is to recover yung parachute anchor na iniwanan ng Chinese Maritime Militia na nakatabon sa mga coral seabed dito sa Pag-asa Reef 1.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave that there for now. Thank you so much for joining Storycon today and for sharing with us these updates. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela. Salamat, sir.
Thanks, Commodore.
Thank you, sir.
We've
Mag-goodbye ka na.
mag-goodbye na. Hindi pa ako kinu-queue eh.
Overtime na tayo.
OT na kayo, OT.
I didn't hear the queue. May queue ba?
Sige na. Mag-thank you na.
OT na, nakikita ko yung oras dito.
Thank you for joining Storycon today. Ami Pamitun, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Join us again Monday, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Jean Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News, so sites all the time.